Thank you for joining Effortless Attraction. My name is Evelyn McAleer. I'm the author of A Life You Want, Effortless, and The Woman's Journey. I'm a life coach, business mentor, and inspirational speaker. And my greatest value is making a difference in people's lives. So I hope through these podcasts I can make a difference to your life. A little bit more information before we pop on over to the podcast. So we're currently residing in the stunning province of Almeria in the south of Spain. As an extension of my mentoring and life coaching services, I'm now offering 4-night retreats tailored for women who are ready to prioritise themselves. So if you're a woman and you're interested in spending quality time with myself and 2 other participants, please visit my website for more details. Additionally, for business leaders and coaches who wish to have their own retreat here in Spain with their clients, I handle all of your logistics, including airport transfers, accommodation and meals for your group. If you'd like to request a retreat proposal, kindly send me an email. You'll get all of my contact information in the description below. Thank you.
Effortless Attraction podcast is sponsored by Colette Leeson Interview and Career Coaching. If you dream of landing your ideal job, consider Colette's services. With a success rate exceeding 90% among her interview clients, Colette offers personalized career guidance and interview coaching discreetly, both online and in person. She also conducts workshops and provides career advice talks. For further details, visit ColetteLeeson.com.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on another Effortless Attraction podcast. So today I am here flying solo, which is a great thing. And sometimes it's difficult to have interaction when I am either not speaking to someone else or when it's not a live broadcast. I find interaction much easier that way. So anyway, I shall continue. We watched a show last night. It was about Andrew Carnegie, or Carnegie, perhaps as he's called in America. Andrew Carnegie. I love watching documentaries about people's lives. It was a rags to riches story of this guy from Scotland, where they left penniless basically and went to America. This was back in the 1800s. It seems so long ago, but how this man, I suppose his intention when they came away penniless from America. It took them 3 months to sail to America, where his intentions were to make money. I'm going to be the breadwinner. I'm going to make money, especially when you've come from nothing and you're heading to this new world to have a piece of the pie, to make your dreams a reality. And of course, he achieved everything that he had desired. He became actually the most wealthiest man in the world. And he invested, he took risks, and I commend people that have that thought and achieve the dream. And it's amazing, I suppose, when we come from nothing and what we see, we have everything. But at the tail end, it was quite sad, I felt, at the end of it all. But how he made his money too was through steel, was through the Navy. He actually, through wars, when his steel companies provided to the Navy, he received a lot of money. To the railways, he received a lot of money and then sold off his steel business. So he was very powerful and very, very wealthy. But once he had received that wealth, also, he felt that he needed to give back to the communities. So therefore, we'll see everywhere a lot of Carnegie or Carnegie libraries, universities, halls, museums, a lot with his name on it. So he did give back to community. And I've heard this so much from people that have achieved a lot in their life. Always remember to give back. For I think one of his sayings, and I may not get this completely right, was that those perhaps that die with wealth and have not distributed it should die with shame. But he did give back quite a lot. But the flip side of the coin was, after receiving so much of his money and wealth through war, he wanted peace. That's all he ever wanted, was for world peace. And that's something that his money could not buy. And it must be, I thought of that man, that could have had anything. He could have had anything that he wanted through money, but he could not buy peace. He could not buy other people's intentions for peace. Um, he just couldn't do it. And at the tail end, then when World War One broke out, the man just retreated. He stopped writing letters. He stopped communicating. What they said, would call it, that he fell into a deep depression, and then he died. It was 1919. But I thought it quite sad at the end too, that the desire for peace, and when peace was not achieved, when he could not achieve that, somebody that was so used to achieving things fell into a place of darkness within himself. I don't know if there would have been any inner peace there with that. But, when we look at things, um, and when we see, gosh, I wonder when I get to that level, then I'll be, when I get there, then I'll be. So there's who was the richest man in the world. When I get there, what then? We're used to getting and receiving and buying and having and then distributing, because perhaps in that giving too, he received. It is in giving that we receive, that he could bring hope to the lives of perhaps people that came from less wealth, what he was used to. And also, when he passed away, he left his wife enough money to rear his child, his daughter. But he did not want to create a dynasty. So therefore, all of the buildings and all of that the big homes, they were sold off, because he also said that, when he invested in museums and libraries and universities, that you have to also put something into this, because if you get something for nothing, you do not value it. So if he was doing a library, the other person or persons, you buy the land, you put the books in, because they had to have an invested interest to keep it going. So I suppose all of these things in life, and I know, look, for our own selves, we keep perhaps sometimes giving and giving and giving, and we think by giving we're doing good. But when you receive something for nothing, sometimes that's what you value it. You place a value on is nothing. When you come from what we see as nothing, and you work to achieve your dreams and to achieve your goals, and sometimes I think where we falter in life is that we feel we want to make a better life for our children. We don't want them to go through the hard times that we go through. And therefore, the children receive and receive and receive. And we can see this in our own lives and in generations of perhaps people that don't have to work, don't have to achieve, want something quick, want something instantaneously, that they don't value it, that we don't appreciate the things that we do have. We don't respect it. And so I love watching and listening to stories like that, where people that would be thinking, oh, if I was only like him, if I was only had the same money that he had. But then in wishing that for yourself, if you wanted everything that that man had, you would have to come from absolute nothing. But he said, from that nothingness, a home full of love, a home full of love. And also to end up in life in that place of, as they say, depression, of despair, of hopelessness, of not being able to achieve what you feel was your ultimate goal or ultimate dream. But I wonder then if he did achieve world peace, but your World War II came. And we cannot change other people's actions. We cannot change their thoughts. We cannot change their words. The only person that we are responsible for this day is ourselves, is our thoughts, is our words, and is our actions ultimately. That's all that we are responsible for. And certainly we can make time today to speak to someone, to say hello to someone, to smile at someone, to ask someone, are you all right? And genuinely mean, are you all right? Can I help you? Genuinely mean it without expecting anything in return. And what is it that you desire for yourself in life? I think if we are desiring a peace, well, that peace has to start with us. It must start with us if we are wishing for it to be in our homes. That's the place where it starts. That inner peace starts with you. Then it transmits into our home. And if we're blessed, into our family members, that they too will have that inner peace within them, that we do not have that greed of wanting more. There's a wonderful thing of being our greatest version. How great can I become in myself, but still have that peace within us? How great can I serve others? How far can I go? But to remember that we do not attach our feeling on the outcome, that when that happens, then I'll feel a certain way. When world peace comes, then I'll be at peace. We must be at peace within ourselves and do the best that we can. And it doesn't mean that outside factors don't trigger us, that we don't get disappointed, that our expectations are never met, and that we always remember how far that we have come, the difference that we do make. And we must start by making the difference in our own lives. I'm sure if you're listening today, there perhaps are things that you would wish for or want to be different, or wish things that didn't happen. But this day is going to pass. And you are going to go to bed tonight, please God. And please God that you'll wake up in the morning as well. And it's what do we do with that day, though? What do we do with that time? Do I just let it slip by? Do I sit and watch TV? Do I sit and scroll on social media? What is it that's within me? What gifts, what talents, what abilities do you have? What wonderful creations do you hold in your mind but are fearful of stepping forward and creating? Imagine if we had people in the world that had the ability to let go of greed, of wanting more, and feeling that they own things, ownership, of wanting power. Imagine if people awoke this morning or awakened this morning and just felt, you know what, I have more than enough. What can I do today that will make a difference for all of humanity for the better? What one thing can I do today? And it always starts with ourselves. It always starts with a conversation that you will have with yourself in the morning. It starts with those thoughts that you're having in the morning. It starts by changing the words, changing the affirmations. Andrew Carnegie affirmed that I am going to create financial wealth. And he kept saying, I just keep receiving money. And so he did. And so he did. But to have happiness, to have an inner happiness, to have an inner peace, to not make money our goal. And yes, it's a wonderful exchange. And if we keep giving things for free and keep doing stuff for free all of the time, is it valued? Do people respect it? Do they value it? I think he had great ideas, great intentions. And I do take away from that, watching that seen, and I have spoken to so many other coaches that have done this when we have began coaching, wanted to help everyone, wanted to save everyone. I can help you. And you give your time. But 99% of the time not valued until you put a value on it yourself. And always that if you meet me halfway, as he said, if I invest in something, I expect you to invest in it also. Investing in our own lives, investing in time for ourselves. I do believe everything is possible. I do believe our minds will take us so far. But it's that wonderful thing, but of how. And if we believe that the right people will come into our lives at the right time, as people on that show last night that were interviewed had said, I do believe Andrew Carnegie was in the right place at the right time. Born in 1835, passed away in 1919. It seems like so long ago, but it doesn't change the fact that everything began with a thought. It began with taking action. It began with going through difficult times and it moving on and moving forward and having a belief and investing in yourself. I don't believe the man was greedy. I believe that he just reinvested in his business. I believe that perhaps that he had his change of mindset, which is quite contradictory whenever he made his money, a lot of it through war. But on the other side, it's like, now that I have this money, I can create peace. But it was something that he was unable to do. was create world peace, because we cannot control other people's thoughts. We cannot control their actions. But what we can do is make a difference today to our own lives by bringing peace. So how do we bring that peace to ourselves? How do we have inner peace? Is it possible to have that at all times? Gratitude is a wonderful thing. Being mindful, slowing ourselves down, because it's difficult if we're always on the go, always, this is the thing I need to do now, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. But how can we still ourselves? How can we still ourselves to have peace? And no matter where we're sitting at or where you're at listening to this podcast, if you're able to gift yourself even 5 minutes and breathe and repeat, I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. All is well in my world. I create my inner peace. I am at peace. And lessons and experiences will enter our lives that are turbulent, that are disruptive, that are dramatic. And that is our time to show peace, inner peace. How we deal with a situation, how we see the solution, how we don't feed into the drama, how we aren't controlled by fear, creating an inner peace. Yeah, so that's really all today. Stepping forth and learning from other people in their journeys of life. Having human experiences, divine beings having human experiences, great intentions. Everything starts with a thought. The bravery, the courage, the action that people take in order to achieve what they thought was impossible. But at the end, money can't buy everything. And money certainly did not buy world peace and could not buy world peace. And it couldn't buy him his inner peace either. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to another Effortless Attraction podcast. And I want to wish you a wonderful day. Go forth, create peace in your life, be the shining example, and have a fabulous day.